Ahoy and welcome back to another video. Got a bit of a special fun one today. What I've got in front of me is a spreadsheet that is going to scientifically prove if I prefer the Super Nintendo or the Nintendo 64. This is not a spreadsheet I made. I saw it on Twitter and I found out it's from the Giant Bomb subreddit. So I downloaded it. Basically there's a bunch of categories pitting against some N64 games and SNES games, and it's going to sum up a grand total scientific number to prove which console is better once and for all. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'll post the link to where this is located in the description if you want to do this for yourself. So I guess let's just kind of go through the categories here. For a little bit of background, I grew up with the N64. I was pretty young. I did not grow up with an SNES. Most of the SNES games I've played have either been through NSO on the Switch or through the Game Boy Advance ports. But I did play a good amount of N64 games growing up. My sister had an N64, and then I've gone back and played a bunch of those games, as well as like Blockbuster Rental, stuff like that back in the day. So for the categories, we've got the biggest one is the classic matchups. We're going to pick one from each side. Then we've got rare versus square. Rare, a lot of rare games in the N64. Square's got a lot of good games on the SNES. We got the racing category, the competitive category, other category, the Nintendo grab bag. So this is kind of like the, I guess the games that didn't quite make it into the classic matchups category. Sports, platformers-ish, and then the free space write-in category. I do have things here. I just have them hidden so that it's a little bit of a suspenseful surprise at the end for the free games I wrote in. Let's go ahead and get started. I will start off in the top left in the classic matchups category. Starting off with Super Mario World versus Super Mario 64. Love both of these games, both all-time great games. I do personally prefer the 3D Marios to the 2D Marios though, so I will give the point to Super Mario 64. And then we've got up next Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past versus Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is a fantastic game. Funny enough, I've never beaten it on the N64. I've only ever beaten it through the GameCube port because I have the GameCube Master's Quest version. Ocarina of Time is one of the all-time greats, but I think Link to the Past is one of the greatest games of all time. I played this game several times through NSO. I played it on the Game Boy Advance as a kid a ton. I love Link to the Past. Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. This is one I always forget. I don't forget, but I can never call it Super Mario World 2 versus Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Both of these games I've played a good amount of. I've never beaten either of them. I am kind of in the minority here. I like Yoshi's Island. I've never got on the train that it's one of the greatest platformers ever. But Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask feels like Ocarina of Time, but like weird Ocarina of Time, and I do like Ocarina of Time a little bit, or not a little bit. I like Ocarina of Time a lot, just not enough to beat Link to the Past. I think I'll give this one to Majora's Mask. Just Yoshi's Island is like a fun game for me, but not one of my favorites. Mario RPG versus Paper Mario. I've only ever played Mario RPG Remake, but I feel like I can still talk to the SNES version since it's a pretty standard, or pretty faithful port or remake of it. Paper Mario I beat a couple years ago actually. I think Paper Mario's fun, fine. It's not my favorite Mario RPG. Not even in my top 3, I wouldn't say. So I think I will give this to, not even my top 5 probably. I will give this to Paper Mario, or Mario RPG over Paper Mario. Star Fox versus Star Fox 64. I think it's a pretty easy Star Fox 64. It's just a more fun version of Star Fox in my opinion, and Star Fox 64 holds up great. It's a really fun game. Kirby Superstar versus Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards. I do like Kirby Superstar, but I think what is driving this decision, even more than how much me liking Kirby Superstar, is me not liking Kirby 64. I don't think it's a fun game. It's like it is a 2D game. It's a 2D game that in 3D graphics, which is fine. But I don't like playing that game with the joystick on the or I don't even remember. Do you play with the joystick on the 64? I can't remember. I played Kirby 64. I didn't like it. I played for a couple hours. I beat the first couple worlds. I never could get into it. I've kind of purged all thoughts of this game from my mind because I legitimately did not have a good time with it. But Kirby Superstar is a great game, so let's get a point there. DKC2, Diddy's Kong Quest versus Donkey Kong 64. I am going to have to default to DKC2. I've not actually played Donkey Kong 64, believe it or not. It's one of those games I want to play. Once it comes to NSO, I'll try it out. But I do like DKC2. Good game. Harvest Moon 64, Harvest Moon SNES. I almost don't want to put a point here. I've only played Harvest Moon 64, but I don't particularly enjoy it. Does it get a point out of like a default point just because it's the only one I've played? I'll say no, because I have only. I'll say yes. I have played it. I'll have to give the point over it. Yeah. I have not played either of these Star Wars games, Star Wars Shadow of the Empire or Return of the Jedi, so I cannot score that one. Pilot Wings versus Pilot Wings 64. Pilot Wings on the SNES, I'm not a big fan of, but Pilot Wings 64 is a great game. I'll give the point there. And then Tetris Attack versus Pokemon Puzzle League. Puzzle League is a really, really fun game on NSO. I play a lot of it, so point to Pokemon Puzzle League. Then we're going to get to the Rare versus Square category. This one's a funny one for me too because I love Square RPGs and I love Final Fantasy games, but I just have not got around to playing FF6. Haven't done it yet. I know I would like it. And the same thing with Chrono Trigger. I've not played Chrono Trigger. I know I would like it. So it's kind of tough for me because like we've got GoldenEye, which I like fine. You know, I'm not like a GoldenEye fanatic, but I like it fine. I will give it the point though because I have played it. We're picking 4 here. I have played a little bit of Secret of Mana. I like Secret of Mana just fine. I tend to think I would like FF6 and Chrono Trigger more. And then it gets weird here because I played Perfect Dark when I was a kid. I don't remember much about it. I haven't played Jet Force Gemini yet, Blast Corps, Front Mission. So I think I'm only going to pick 2 on here. I'm going to change this to a pick 2 just because I have not... Oh gosh, where's my formula? I'm going to change this to a pick 2 just because I haven't played a lot of the games, unfortunately. So 2 points there. Racing games. Alright, here, so we've got Super Mario Kart, F-Zero, Top Gear, Rock and Roll Racing, and then Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, Beetle Adventure Racing, F-Zero X, and Mario Kart 64. So, this is another tough one. I'm not particularly a fan of the old Mario Karts. I don't love Super Mario Kart or Mario Kart 64. I do think F-Zero is a fun game, challenging but fun, and I think F-Zero X is a very fun game. A little easier in my opinion, and it's got really good music. It's really fast paced. It's 60 FPS on the N64, which is always neat to see. I feel like I've played Episode 1 Racer like as a kid as well. You know what? I am gonna just... It says pick 4. I'm gonna just default to the Mario Karts, even though I don't love them, and it's just gonna even them out, so it's not gonna matter. Because I have played both those Mario Karts. I don't hate them, I just don't... I don't think they're my favorite games to go back to. Alright, competitive pick 4. I think this is a pretty easy one for me. I love Mario Golf. It's one of my favorite N64 games. I think Smash Bros. Is a ton of fun. Kirby's Dream Course is great. And then for the last one, I've never had a real particular affinity with Mortal Kombat. I've never played Killer Instinct, but I do enjoy Street Fighter, and I've played some Street Fighter too, so I'll give the point there. Also, haven't played WWF No Mercy. I've watched friends play it a long time ago. I'm not a huge wrestling video game guy. I could give the point to Mario Party 2, but honestly, I didn't really get big into the Mario parties until the GameCube, so I think I'll stick with this. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Kirby's Dream Force, Mario Golf, and Super Smash Bros. For other pick 4, this is another one I don't feel super great about picking 4 in. I do like Turtles in Time, so I give it the point. I have not played ActRaiser. I don't really particularly like Super Ghouls and Ghosts. That game frustrates me. Maybe because I'm bad at it, maybe because it's hard, I don't know. Have not played SimCity. I think I would like it though. And then Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. I've not played that. Rogue Squadron. I feel like I have played that from a Blockbuster rental back in the day. I will give a point to Rogue Squadron. And then I've never got around the Turok or Ogre Battle 64. So I'll change this to another pick 2 for me. Fortunately though, I do think that is the last category where I can't pick all the choices. I think the rest of it I should be able to speak to okay. Let's go down here to the Nintendo Grab Bag pick 3. This one's pretty easy for me as well. Mario Paint, I've never played it. It kind of seems like a meme though to put in this category. I'll put Earthbound, Super Metroid, and then I'll pick one of the N64 games. Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap. I like both of those games. I think I'll give it to Mario Tennis. I think Mario Tennis is a fun game on the N64. I also enjoyed Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap. Either way, the third point goes to N64. So let's put Mario Tennis here. Sports games. This is another one. Should be pretty easy. I think Wave Race 64 is a pretty impressive game for the N64. I do like the kind of the physics system with the water, and it's a pretty impressive game for when it came out. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is a classic. I've played it like on the PlayStation 1, but I'm pretty sure the N64 version is pretty similar. It is the same game. It's just a slightly worse version of the game, I believe. But I do really enjoy the game on PS1, so I'm giving the point just for that. And then I haven't played NHL 94. I've played NBA Jam, but I think I'll give the point to Super Punch-Out. I think Super Punch-Out's a fun game. I've played a little bit more of Punch-Out NES than I have SNES, but I still think Super Punch-Out's a fun game. Platformers-ish pick 3. So we got Mega Man X, Super Castlevania 4, Contra 3, Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and Space Station Silicon Valley. I've not played Space Station Silicon Valley, and I've not played Contra 3. I don't think I've actually played Super Castlevania 4 either. So this one's a weird one for me because like I've played Mega Man X. It's a great game. I really like it. I played Banjo-Kazooie. It's a pretty fun game. I don't like it as much as some, but I think it's still a good game. So it comes down to, do I give my third point to Conker, which I've never spent a whole lot of time with, and I don't have a particular affinity with, or do I give the third point to Super Castlevania 4, a game that I think I've seen gameplay of it. I've played other Castlevania games in a similar style of it, so like I probably would enjoy Castlevania 4. I think just knowing me, I will give the point to Super Castlevania 4 in this scenario. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. All right, so then we're down to the free space. This is another pick 3 category, and I've kind of hidden what games we have here. So for the SNES, like I said, I didn't grow up with the SNES, so a lot of the games I've played are like the classics. Like a lot of these games over here I've played on the the classic matchups, and the Nintendo Grab Bag I've played these, and I've I don't have a super deep knowledge of the SNES, so I do have the 3 games here I have are let's view Formula Bar, Home. Oh, anyway, change this font to black. We've got Mario's Picross, Demon's Crest, and Phalanx. Phalanx for the memes because I have this cartridge and it's a hilarious box art of this man with a banjo. So I think it warrants the space on this chart. I've not actually played Phalanx, but I'm putting it on there anyway. And then we've got for the N64 games, we've got 3 games I grew up with: Diddy Kong Racing, really great game. One of my favorite N64 games. One that I really desperately want on the Switch or some sort of remake, or either if it's on NSO, whatever it is. Toy Story 2. I played this a lot as a kid. I haven't played it like since I was a kid, so I don't know if going back to it, if this is like just a trash shovelware license game, or if it's actually good. I had a lot of time with it. You're Buzz Lightyear and you're running around the house and stuff, zapping fools with your laser beam arm. And then Iggy's Wrecking Balls. This game is a kind of a meme with my family. I don't particularly think this is a very good game, but it's one of those games that my mom just grabbed for my sister on the N64 because I assume it was a cheap game back when she was buying games for this. So we've had this, and we played it a good amount, but we never really liked it. So yeah, that's just kind of a funny one from my childhood. So I think it's a pretty easy one for me. Diddy Kong Racing, like I said, great racing game. I love this game. I think it's superior to Mario Kart 64. Then I think I give the point to Mario Picross. I always forget, is it Mario's Picross or Mario Picross? Picross is like one of my favorite puzzle games, period. I discovered it on the Switch. I've played hundreds and hundreds of Picross puzzles on the Switch. I think it's great, and Mario Picross is I played on NSO. It might be a little clunkier than the new polished Switch releases, but it is still Picross at its core. I think it's a really fun game. So then it comes down to, like I said, I'm not going to pick Iggy's Wrecking Balls or Phalanx because they're both just kind of meme picks. Demon's Crest over Toy Story 2. Demon's Crest I've played a couple hours of. I played the, what is it called? On the Game Boy app on NSO, the prequel to this. Is it also called Demon's Crest? Demon's something. Maybe I'll flash it on the screen here. But I really like that game on the Game Boy app on NSO, so I played some Demon's Crest. It's like the the SNES upgraded version of it. It's a really pretty game. It's a really fun game. I enjoyed what I played of it, but I do think I had to give this point to the nostalgia here with Toy Story 2. My boy Buzz was out there saving the day, and I always liked this game. I would maybe one of these days in the future, I want to try to get my N64 connected up to the where I can record and go back and play some N64 games. Maybe I'll check out Toy Story 2 again. But I think nostalgia alone, it's gonna take the point. So yeah, kind of what I thought here. The N64 would take it over the SNES for me. Like I said, SNES is a console that I didn't grow up with. I've only played like the true classics. They're like been ported other places, or they're on NSO, stuff like that. The glaring omissions being Chrono Trigger and FF6, two games I know I'd love, but I just have not got around to playing. But yeah, fun disclaimer too here on the bottom, and this is a pretty, it's worth acknowledging. Disclaimer: the SNES has more than double the amount of games as the N64, so the N64 has an advantage in this poll due to me sticking with the same number of games for each console. So yeah, SNES has a deeper library. A lot of people say like N64 only has 5 good games, 10 good games. I imagine if you made more categories for this, I think the N64 would die out a lot quicker than the SNES. So SNES probably the better console overall, deeper library, some real seminal titles, some real important things. And the N64, it's what I grew up with. A lot of games I love on it, but it does kind of the games kind of fall down off a cliff once you get into the 20, 25. Are there really like 50 great N64 games? I don't know, but there are, more than 50 great SNES games. So yeah, this was a fun little thing. Like I said, I'll leave the link in the description if you want to try this yourself. My final score was N64 18, SNES 14. But I'd be interested to see if you do this, what your score is. So If you made it to the end of this video and you do this whole thing yourself, go ahead and leave your score in the comments. I'd be interested to see what other people get. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.